Hey everybody, welcome back to the JoBlo Movie Show Podcast. I'm Paul Shirey, editor-in-chief of JoBlo.com, joined with my comrades in arms. That's not true. They probably never picked up a gun in their lives. But Chris Bumbray and Sean Wist, my esteemed fellow comrades. How are you today?
I prefer to do my fighting with a quill.
Well, that might have worked out well for Indiana Jones' dad.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
The pen.
Sword.
The pen, Henry. Sean is eating a burrito. He'll talk when he's done.
That is not true at all. It's a crunch wrap now that I'm finishing.
So I wanted to ask you, seeing as how you eat so many burritos and tacos, what are your shits like? I mean, I'm assuming they must be volcanic.
Taco, burrito.
They vary greatly. I've had some fiery shits in my day, that's for sure.
Some fiery shits.
Oh, yeah.
Ass is a fire.
Not from like Taco Bell or anything, though. They don't make anything that spicy. You gotta
eat your tacos are from Taco Bell? Ugh.
Sometimes.
I thought you like got like real like tacos at like really fancy, like really cool indie places and stuff.
I don't discriminate. I get tacos anywhere.
I only like indie tacos. I don't like mainstream tacos.
I would like 3 tacos all dressed, please. Thank you.
He's one of our listeners. Our tech guy Gino Palucia. Him and I had a couple of nice burritos in Park City recently.
That's code
at a place
for something.
called El Chubasco. Yeah,
That's not what you think it is.
There was an all-you-can-eat salsa bar, and both of us dug into that thing.
Dude,
dug into it hard. Deep and hard.
Can't believe how much you guys are talking about these escort places you went to while you were there. I like your code talk though. It's interesting.
They were Mormon escorts.
I can't wait to talk about Sundance some more. Just kidding. Okay, well, before we get to Sundance, we're going to talk about some dance.
Wow, that is amazing, man. Wow, that was so good.
That was stupid. Anyways.
I'll censor that for our listeners to spare them.
Their ears might start bleeding while they're driving. They'd be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, I was so stupid. I'm going to crash my fucking car." They'll be at the gym listening, like have a fucking set up, like, "Oh God, it's so fucking stupid," and drop the fucking bar in their head.
I'm willing to take that risk.
Oh Christ! All right. Okay, so today we'll start with the top news. They started shooting the Han Solo pic today, and Chris Lord oh shit, which one is it?
That's not at all where I thought.
Phil Lord
that's not
and Chris Miller.
When you're saying top story, I really thought you were going to start with Jacob Tremblay, the kid from Room.
No,
but whatever.
I sent you.
Do what you need to do.
I sent you the fucking outline.
I know. I just thought we were going by what's most important.
No, damn it, we're going in order.
All right.
Aren't you the one that wanted to talk about Step Brother or fucking Big Daddy or
Daddy's Home?
Daddy's Home sequel? Fuck. Big
Daddy's Home.
Big Daddy's Home.
Oh, I want to see that movie.
Big Stepdaddy's Home. Holy shit, that's like the mashup to end them all. Anyways,
You should send that off to Fox.
I know, right?
Well, they're listening to the podcast, I'm sure.
Of course they are.
of course.
Every studio is. Every studio is listening right now. Every studio head is listening to this podcast. Hi, you guys. How you doing?
They don't even listen to it to be posted on. They don't even wait until it's posted on the net. They just listen to it. They listen to it live while we're recording it.
Yeah, they hack into Skype.
It's a call-in. Anyways, they posted a clapboard that says Red Cup, which is supposed to be
Phil Miller and Chris Lord.
I already corrected myself.
That's Christopher.
Yeah,
whatever.
No, it's Christopher Miller. Did you just fuck it up, Chris, and tell me that was the right way?
Oh yeah, it's Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Wah, wah, whatever.
You better apologize. You better apologize for all of Canada right now.
Same thing.
Say sorry. Sorry. Anyways.
Sorry, eh?
Hey. Yeah, sorry. It's labeled as Red Cup, which is supposed to be a riff on the Solo Red Cups. It's a stretch of a joke, and I'm not too proud to admit that I had to actually look it up because I was like, that is not a Star Wars reference. But apparently everybody else that's just so fucking hip and cool, they got it right away. Like, Red Cup, of course, it's Solo. Jesus Christ. I did not, so whatever. Red Cup.
I thought that it was like something to do with two girls.
That's a joke that I made earlier, but yeah, apparently not.
Now, see, it was so obvious to me, I didn't even mention it in the article. I was like, oh, they got jokes, because I figured everyone who's ever had an alcoholic drink in their life would know what a Solo Cup was.
Yeah, but
sorry, old timers.
I just call it a Red Cup.
Well, does your mom know how you party, by the way, Sean?
Does she know that you know what a Solo Cup is?
My mom knows how I party.
Oh, shit. So anyways,
those things are actually illegal in Canada, so that's why I didn't know.
What isn't illegal in Canada?
No, red cups. We don't drink them out of red cups in Canada. They're transparent here.
Whatever. So they also put on the tagline with the image of the clapboard that says Han first shot. Get it, get it, get it? So, anyways, that movie is happening.
You know what? Okay, I like that and everything, but you know what? If Han really did shoot first, then why don't they use their clout and get Disney to release the unaltered versions of the original trilogy? That's what I want, fuck.
I don't need to go see all those fucking Star Wars movies again in the theater with more edits. I'm good.
No, but release the unaltered cuts. Release the unaltered cuts on Blu-ray.
I don't need any more Blu-rays either. I'm
good.
No,
but the unaltered versions, though. I want to see the original theatrical versions,
I know.
man.
It's all a matter of time.
They need to release those for archival reasons, man. I don't want to see that extra shit that they've put into it. Let's see the original fucking cuts that haven't been available in years. Let's see those, man.
I think Trump is going to sign an executive order for that to happen this week. It's on his agenda, so it's going to happen.
Oh, is it really? Oh, okay, good. Well, I mean, I'd rather he do that than pretty much everything else he's doing.
Don't get political, Chris.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right.
This isn't the Daily Show.
Jesus Christ. No.
I mean, it's weekly.
You know what? And here's the thing. I'm just going to go.
What, did you say this is like Us Weekly?
No, I said this is weekly.
I'm gonna go on a small tangent here. So listen, the thing is, like, the way I treat like my Twitter account too is the same way as I see a lot of my peers. They just go on these fucking epic like political offshoots and posting pictures and talk like they're all of a sudden they're all fucking experts on everything politics just because like all of a sudden they care out of nowhere. And the thing is, like, that's fine. Like, I have opinions about all that stuff too, but I figure, the thing is, like, as journalists and entertainment journalists, and a lot of people, they follow us for specific reasons.
Yeah.
You don't need to know every facet of my life and know every little fucking thing that I think and do. And I just feel like we've gotten to a point where oversharing is beyond, we've gone beyond oversharing at this point. Like, It's very hard for anybody, it seems, mostly on social media, if we're being honest, to stay focused on any one thing. It's like, no, you have to speak up. You have to speak up. And it's like, you can't escape it. So then what ends up happening is you can't go anywhere to escape all the same bullshit. Everybody just running off at the mouth. Everybody's an expert. Everybody's got an opinion. You can't just go somewhere and say, look, I just want to go to JoBlo.com, just read movie news. That's it. I don't want to hear any more of that other shit. So that was my tangent is, that's why we try to keep things, apolitical. You don't need. I have my views. Chris has his views. Sean has his views. I'm sure, but you guys don't need. That's not what you're here for. And that's it.
I know. I mean, I think it's just people are feeling very emotional these days, and I don't know. I mean, but I think you're right, though. I think people do need an escape. They need some kind of place to go to without, They need everybody needs a break once in a while, I guess. We're not to think about things, so
Well, it's not even about.
I'm not weighing in politically just because I have my opinions, but it's just this isn't really the place to share them because I am an entertainment journalist. So
you literally just said everything I just said, Chris. God damn it!
Not gonna do it here.
All right.
I mean, yeah. How about you, Sean?
I just finished my last taco while you guys were talking about that.
And then Sean,
I get behind this. More tacos.
Sean's on point. So, anyways,
how come you get a taco and I don't get a taco?
You can get tacos. Just make sure you go to the indie tacos.
Yeah, I don't support that big money tacos like you do.
Don't you have to drive like an hour to go to Taco Bell?
Big money tacos.
Big money. Chris, didn't you say you have to drive like an hour to go to Taco Bell?
It's true. It's the only Taco Bell in the city is in like the West Island. It's over an hour away.
The irony is I live in a tiny fucking town in Alaska. and it's literally 5 minutes down the road if I want to go to Taco Bell. I mean, it's a tiny town. We do have like a few places, and Taco Bell is one of them. It's just 5 minutes down the road.
I have a KFC right next door that I never go to out of principle.
We used to have a KFC here, and then it closed down because I think it was like a drug operation as well. So you can get like fucking
ruining the good name of KFC.
Ruining or making better? I don't know. I guess it depends on your perspective. But either way, they closed it down.
So it stood for ketamine free base cocaine.
Hey, Alaska is the meth capital of the world. So
okay.
You got to be careful there.
I have a quarter breast sampler and some meth.
Yes, that's right. Chicken is blue colored.
So we were talking about Han shot first. Yeah.
Anyway, so the Han Solo movie is in production. So I think it's going to be. I am looking forward to it just for Lord Miller's involvement. I'm sure the cast is fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
They're interesting enough.
Sure.
But I like Lord and Miller. I like their energy. I like their humor. So I'm hoping they give us a more energetic and fun and more Star Wars-y movie than whatever Rogue One was. So that would be nice. But truth be told, I'd rather stay within the. I like the Skywalker, trilogies or storyline, however you want to term it. I like Jedis and Sith. I like lightsabers, so that's.
Part of me feels like we don't really need a Han Solo prequel. I mean, I feel like he's already been done plenty of justice to him. I don't know that there's anywhere else we can really go.
Well, I think,
do we really need to see how he met Chewie? Do we really need to see how he met Lando?
We don't. And just like we didn't need to see the how they captured the plans for the fucking Death Star. It's okay, whatever. But I think with Han Solo, they're looking at it more of a franchise potential in terms of just making more and more of them because you're starting young.
No kidding.
So you could make them between, young Han Solo part 1 all the way up to fucking part 4 or episode 4, if you so desired. So there it is.
Sean, you enjoy the Star Wars, don't you?
You like the Star Wars?
Depends which one you're talking about. It's easy to say like, no, I don't want to see this Han Solo prequel and stuff like that. But if it's good, then you're like, all right, let's see what they got. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll see.
Well, once that first trailer hits, everybody's gonna have fucking Star Wars fever again.
It's gonna be that, but we'll see when the movie comes out.
True.
Shit like
that.
No,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was hopeful for Rogue One, and my hopes were squashed.
Jurassic World 2.
Jurassic World 2 started production. Jay Bayona shared a tweet that showed a bunch of hard hats with the Jurassic World / Jurassic Park logo. So yeah, that's
he's the only reason I want to see that movie. I didn't like Jurassic World very much.
No, me neither.
J.A. Bayona is the only reason. But I'm very excited to see it because of his involvement. Because he's yet to make a bad movie.
Agree wholeheartedly. And I watched The Impossible this weekend.
Fantastic film.
And
that's the best movie.
You know what's funny is there's so many shots in The Impossible that look like, if out of context, could be ripped out of a Jurassic Park movie. Where
sure,
because the whole cast is like tattered and dirty, and they look. I mean, they're vacationers that just encountered a disaster. So it's really, if you think about it, The Impossible is like the perfect showcase for why they would hire Jay Bayona to do a Jurassic Park movie or Jurassic World.
As a small aside, that scene where Ewan McGregor is on the phone to his father-in-law and breaks down. I mean, that is fucking.
I was watching that part and I was like, I meant to go look it up too. I was like, did he get nominated for an Oscar? Because that
did he
is
though?
Amazing.
Did he get nominated?
I don't know. I forgot to look it up, but I mean, it's a true shame if he wasn't because. I mean, he fucking killed it. And there's so many parts where I'm like choked up or literally crying watching The Impossible. So, like I said before, that's
a best
2 for 2.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now. For anyone listening who hasn't seen it, just go watch it.
You're out of excuses.
Maybe that's a best movie you never saw kind of day.
I think so, definitely. If I was still doing the column, I would.
Yeah, he wasn't nominated. No, and Naomi Watts was nominated for Best Actress, but they were the only ones. In fact, Ewan McGregor only got nominated for, I think, like the Detroit Filmmakers Society Award. Oh no, he got nominated for a Golden Globe. So there's that.
Whatever.
Oh no, not even. No, he was nominated for a Goya. He wasn't nominated for a Golden Globe. Never mind. Wow.
That's why I fucking hate the Oscars and the Golden Globes. They can.
Well, The thing is, nobody saw that movie. That was the problem. I don't even think it made 10 million in North America.
It's so fucking good. If you haven't seen The Impossible, just like Sean said, it's on Netflix. You know, you're looking for something to watch. If you're like me, you probably like stare at your fucking Blu-rays for like an hour and can't decide what to watch. And you probably flip through Netflix like every fucking genre trying to find something to fit. And by the time it's done, you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to bed and watch nothing. You spend more time
just looking. The Office for like the 10th time, which I'm currently have done. So
you go to like that safe, you're like, I'll just watch that again. But seriously, just watch The Impossible. Just put it on. Let it go. Enjoy it. I guarantee you it'll fucking rip your guts out.
Speaking of best movie you never saw, by the way, I have to concede one thing to you, Paul. I put on Virtuosity right after our podcast 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I only made it 15 minutes into the film. Oh boy!
I told you, man.
It's not a good candidate.
Yeah,
I liked the idea of writing about it, but the movie itself, oh boy.
See, and that's the thing is like on paper, it's one of those things that sounds like, oh, that'd be a good candidate. But rewatching, like the effects and the acting is just so like, whoa. Fuck.
Same thing that happened with Free Jack.
Oh yeah, Free Jack's not good. Well, Free Jack was never good. That was never a good movie, so that's all.
Well, it was just movies that I liked when I was younger, I guess. But then you watch them again as an adult, and Anyway.
Anyways,
okay. So how about Infinity War?
Infinity War has also kicked off production, so you have another.
So who's not in it? I think it would take less time to name the superheroes that aren't in it,
Don Johnson,
as opposed to the ones that.
There's no Don Johnson or Bret Easton Ellis.
Well, fuck.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, it's pretty. It's interesting because you keep seeing the reveals. I mean, there's already. I mean, I reported quite a while ago that the Guardians would be in it, and I mean, even though everybody assumed that, but I had it from my source that they were going to all be in it, and that still stands true. And you keep seeing, more and more little pop-ups where they're wearing the Infinity War logo hat. More actors. They had the Mantis is going to be in it for sure, and who's in the new Guardians Volume 2. And they're all going to be in it. Everybody's going to be in it, one way or another. I think the only one they haven't really truly confirmed is Spider-Man, but I'm pretty sure Spider-Man's going to show up.
I'm sure he'll be in it. If he was in Civil War, he'll be
I
in
think
it.
It's safe to say, we'll assume that, that's the point, to bring all the characters from the movies together.
Yeah.
But, like, here's the real question. Do you think they're going to 100% leave the TV characters out of it?
Yes.
Yep.
I do. I think they're definitely gonna try and keep it separate. If anything, I think they would do like an Easter egg type shot or not an Easter egg, but rather like a cameo shot. Like where they like say the sky is on fire or something, and people like from like an Earth shot, and you would shoot it from say Hell's Kitchen, and you would see Matt Murdock looking up at the sky like, oh fuck. And that would just get everybody's juices flowing. But I think would be
Matt Murdock looking up at the sky.
He's got radar.
No, that would be great because everyone would be in awe, and then he'd be like, "What the fuck are we looking at?
What are you guys looking at?"
Right. He just senses something.
You're welcome,
wrong.
Marvel. There's a free one for you.
We gave you a free joke. What is it? Yeah, I don't think so. But anyways, the movie's kicking off, so I'm pretty sure at some point very soon we'll start seeing set pics. There's always set pics for an Avengers movie because motherfuckers will climb rafters and sleep in fucking attics or wherever the fuck they have to get set
We'll
pics.
see a lot of journalists posting photos of them, holding the shield again or something like that.
Oh, great. Yeah. That'd be awesome. We won't be on set
talking about how it's the greatest movie they've ever seen.
But maybe I'll have another big scoop that I can drop on the day they go to visit the set. We'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Just like I did for Cap.
Captain America's in it. That's
anyways,
the scoop.
I'm looking forward to Infinity War because I'm happy that the Russo brothers are doing it. I'm happy that Whedon is off. I think the first Avengers film is the one and only good film he's ever made, personally speaking. I know some people are fans of his TV work. I'm not. But I'm happy to have the Russos. I really like their energy. I like their passion. And I like their style. I think I have faith in them. So even though I think Civil War is a tad overrated in terms of the praise that was thrown on it, including my own praise, having seen it multiple times since, I've definitely don't feel it's as strong as I thought initially.
I saw it only the one time, but I was lucky enough that I saw it just after the hype had started to die down a bit. So
it leaves a lot that lingers with you. Like that airport scene is very, it's an amazing sequence. It's the best part of the film, and that part you keep going back to. You're like, holy shit, that was amazing, and it is. but it just doesn't end as strong as it should. And to this day, I feel the villain was just garbage. So that's my opinion.
Well, what else is new?
Yeah. Newsflash. Marvel villain sucks. Water also reported as wet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey.
So, ultimately what this is showing, and, Black Panthers released their full synopsis and their casting. And
that one I'm eager to see, because that could be Ryan Coogler. Interests me doing that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I really like Creed,
Yeah.
but we'll see. But yeah, ultimately what this is all these movies kicking off, what is it telling you is that Hollywood is alive and well. The cog,
Hollywood keeps making movies.
The cog and the machine is turning, and your big budget spectacle films are in no way slowing down. So,
speaking of big budget spectacle films, James Cameron
Jimmy
still thinks he's going to make another Avatar movie 10 years later.
Well, I mean, he's been working on it for a long time. So
long time.
Yeah, what's interesting is, I mean, last year we saw a bunch of storyboards and previs and stuff like that for Avatar 2, which I guess they never released to the public, but it was really cool. It was like they took everything. It's like showing worlds of these creatures that you never saw before, like cityscapes and things like that, where it's kind of like, oh wow, it really is a pretty sprawling, huge universe with all different creatures and vehicles and shit like that. But fuck, do we need 5 Avatar movies? But then again, Avatar is still the highest grossing film of all time, so who's going to say no?
And nobody saw that coming either, that it was going to make that much money. No. I actually thought that it was going to be a bit of a flop when I saw the first trailer for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's in James Cameron we trust. I mean, I never underestimate him, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, anyways, he's got the Avatar films on full blast. They've got the Avatar park opening in Disneyland as well. So yeah, I mean, those people that were like had to go to therapy because they loved the Avatar world so much and they couldn't exist in the real world because nowhere on Earth exists like that. Even though so much of it actually does, but people just don't ever fucking leave their goddamn living room, so they'd never know.
I always thought it was so weird in Avatar the way that they flew those little beast things where it looks like they're kind of having sex with them. Like their hair or something like that plugs into them. I don't know. Yeah, that gave me the no feeling.
The no feeling.
It's like, ugh. All right.
I'm inside.
So Cameron has, on top of the Avatar films taking up the rest of his career, has also mentioned that after we already discussed that he was looking to team up with Tim Miller to reinvigorate the Terminator franchise, be it reboot or sequel or reboot sequel.
God, he'll do nothing for that, though. He'll do nothing.
Well, I mean, he was showering praise on Terminator Genesis,
Yeah.
And we all saw how that turned out.
His involvement will be basically they're going to write him a big check. That's much as his involvement's going to be.
But basically, he said that basically he thinks that it's still possible to tell a great Terminator story, and that it's relevant. His part of his quote here is, "We live in a digital age, and Terminator ultimately, if you can slow it down, is about our relationship with our own technology and how our technology can reflect back to us. And in the movie, literally in a human form, that is a nemesis and a threat. But also in those movies, in the 2 that I did, it's about how we dehumanize ourselves. In a time when people are being absorbed by their virtual social world, I mean, just look around. I always say if Terminator was about the war between the humans and the machines, look around any restaurant or airport lounge and tell me the machines haven't won when every human you see is enslaved to their device." The next Terminator is going to just have like a fucking iPhone coming at the screen with a Terminator on it.
It's pretty scary.
I know now why you cry, but this is something that I can never do.
And that's gonna be the T800 updating his Facebook page. That's how they.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, smiley face?
What is your status?
Fuck you.
The Terminator is in a relationship.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. Fuck you, asshole.
I do not understand Twitter and all
Tim
of
Miller,
these
if you're
things.
listening, we're available to write your screenplay.
I swear I will not unfriend anyone.
Now that's funny.
Yeah.
That'll be the tagline. That'll be the tagline for the next one. So yeah, and then also there was another comment. I guess James Cameron's just dropping comment bombs everywhere, talking about the Alien franchise. And I think this is interesting, so I'm going to read it out and then we can discuss. The franchise has kind of wandered all over the map. Ridley did the first film, and he inspired an entire generation of filmmakers and science fiction fans with that one movie, and there have been so many films that stylistically have derived from it, including my own Aliens, which was a legitimate sequel and, I think, the proper heir to his film. I sort of did it as a fanboy. I wanted to honor his film, but also say what I needed to say. After that, I don't take any responsibility. I don't think it's worked out terribly well. I think we've moved on beyond it. It's like, okay, we've got it. We've got the whole Freudian biomechanoid meme. I've seen it in 100 horror films since. I think both of those films stand at a certain point in time as a reference point. But is there any validity to doing another one now? I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. Jury's out. Let's see what Ridley comes up with. Let me just add to that, and don't cut this part off, please. I will stand in line for any Ridley Scott
moving
movie,
on.
even a not so great one, because he's such an artist. He's such a filmmaker. I always learn from him, etc., etc. So, I don't know.
I think he's got
a good point about Ridley Scott in general, though. That's how I feel about his movies.
I do too. I mean, I was very hopeful for Exodus, Gods and Kings, and the thing is, he doesn't hit it out of the park every time. I think he's inconsistent, but the thing is, you never know when. I find he's like Woody Allen, kind of in that way, almost, that he's a guy who makes so many movies that you can forgive him the occasional flop, because once in a while he'll make something that's so fucking awesome, right? And I mean, I don't think anybody expected The Martian to be as big as it was, and sure enough, it was.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's accurate. But Ridley Scott, for his age, and his just his resume in general. I mean, he is definitely one of the most prolific and skilled, talented filmmakers ever.
100%.
I mean, he's amazing. And yes, not every film is great. That's for sure. I mean, but even Exodus, like, I agree, Exodus is not great, but it's still a film that I'm drawn to. Like, it's a movie you want to revisit, because you're like, did I miss something? That's how I was with, like, Kingdom of Heaven too. Like, the first time, I actually really enjoyed it.
We all miss something, though. That's the thing. We all miss something, because the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven, to me, is one of his best movies.
Well, I actually went back and watched the non-director's cut after I saw it the first time, because I had to think about it. And I was like, I think I actually loved it. So I went and watched it again. And I was like, damn, I did love it. And then I saw the director's cut, and I was like, holy shit, this is like a whole other layer. So I don't know. I think
if it had been anybody but Orlando Bloom in that lead role, though, I think the reception to the movie would have been way different.
Like
I couldn't agree more. I think one charismatic actor would have definitely changed that movie for the best.
Channing Tatum then.
Absolutely, Tatum. I think so.
Potato Tatum?
Channing Tatum.
I think he's right, though, what he says about Alien. I mean, the thing is, Alien 3 is interesting. Alien Resurrection, to me, is a fucking terrible movie.
It's like a sci-fi movie, like a Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny because I actually kind of liked it as a teenager, and I always thought about it well. But then a couple of years ago, before Prometheus came out, I did a thing for the site where I went back and I re-reviewed all the Alien movies, because I bought them all on Blu-ray that week, and I was excited to watch them. And I wanted to find... I spent a lot of money on it, so I wanted to somehow get the money back. So I pitched you guys a series of articles that you guys went for. So it ended up paying for itself. I think I made like a $10 profit in the end, but it was because I spent way too much money on the Blu-ray.
Bumbray.
Yeah, I know. But no, it's interesting. I went back and I rewatched all of them, and I was actually kind of excited to watch Resurrection again, because I hadn't seen it since like '97. And oh man, that was unwatchable. Fucking terrible, terrible movie. Worse to me than Batman and Robin. Worse to me than the most unimaginably bad sci-fi flop you can imagine. I can't believe I ever fell for it as a teenager. It's not as bad as Battlefield Earth, but it's fucking bad. And an Alien versus Predator, I always thought was garbage. The first one's terrible. The second one is somehow even worse.
I actually like Aliens versus Predator for the cheese effect. Like, it's not good. It's not the ideal Aliens versus Predator movie, but it's stupid fun, I find.
The one thing that was I could say that was good about Alien versus Predator is when I went to see it for the first time, the part when Snail-Athon and the Predator are sizing each other up before they go to fight the alien, I screamed out at the top of my lungs in the packed movie house, "Kiss!" And everybody in the theater started laughing. So
If they actually kissed, I think that movie would probably be a classic today.
It would be. I think you're probably right. Yeah.
I'm not even joking. I'm serious. People be like, "Dude, but that kiss scene, bro."
So good.
Like some giant tongue flips out of
it's
Predator's vagina mouth and fucking. Oh my god, that would be. There's so much.
And
potential there.
and the message was good.
The message.
Whoever wins, we lose. Yeah.
Anyways, I think back on topic.
That's
here.
the same.
There is no back on topic after.
I think that whoever wins, we lose. Wasn't that the election tagline this year?
That's what they took.
I said no politics.
Yeah, oh boy. Anyway, yeah.
My
Alien vs.
point
Predator
is
really fucking sucks.
I find it interesting. Every time James Cameron says something, he gets an immediate backlash. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, you just shut the fuck up, James Cameron," and they just jump down his throat. If he gives any kind of like, if he throws any slight bit of shade to somebody, as he did here, and he really didn't, but people lose their minds and start attacking. But the thing is, he's right. He's right. I'm sorry. I know there's people that like Alien 3 for whatever fucking
I do like
reason.
Alien 3. I do like Alien 3, but it's not a great movie.
But in terms
it's not even a movie. It's not even a movie that
fitting,
needs to exist.
Right, but in terms of fitting into the franchise, the story that they were telling, it doesn't. It's like, what the fuck?
No,
is
it doesn't.
This? It's
Yeah,
almost
it's
like
a
fan,
weird little
it's like a fan
aside.
fiction story, like a what if story, and it's one that everybody wished never happened.
It's a weird little aside that they didn't need to make, and that feels very pretentious, and it feels like
It was kind of a slap in the face. It was like, "Oh, you like Ripley and you like these other fucking characters? Fuck you. Here's this."
And there was a kind of movie, it seems, that like
we got Charles
Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver, I think, wanted to make a specific kind of movie that definitely wasn't the kind of movie that anybody really wanted to see. And I think that's the same thing with David Fincher. He had a movie in mind that nobody really fucking wanted to see. I think it's a question
of people not knowing what they really had. That's how I feel. I think they didn't really understand what they had on their hands. They didn't understand what people loved about Alien and Aliens when they made Alien 3. They were just like, we don't give a fuck. And I guess that's fine to a point, but when you're making a franchise film that you want as many people to come out and see, you need to take those things into consideration. Just throw caution to the wind, you're going to have a flop, which, Alien 3 was not a fucking huge hit. Did not do well. But anyways, my point is I think people jump on James Cameron when, he's really saying he's speaking the truth, I think. So there you have it.
Yeah, I think he's probably right.
So one of the actors in the first Alien, well known for probably one of the most well-known science fiction scenes of all time, would be John Hurt.
The one in Spaceballs, right?
The one in Spaceballs. Well, that one too.
Oh no, not again!
Not again.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
So we lost John Hurt last week. Fuck you, 2017. Fuck you. How dare you kill people?
And Mary Tyler Moore as well. Fuck.
Mary Tyler Moore. Yeah, so it's a sad loss, but whenever somebody, dies after leaving behind such a tremendous legacy, I tend to lean more on what they've done, which is like John Hurt has left a lasting impression on cinema. Incredible legacy. I mean, he is one of the greatest character actors of all time. Absolutely, without question.
The Elephant Man is a staggering performance.
And he's in so many movies that from this point forward, you'll probably, you'll watch movies and be like, oh shit, that's John Hurt. Like my son is watching the first Harry Potter in the other room, and he's Ollivander.
And he's in Jackie that just came out. He's in Jackie as well. He's really good in Jackie.
I haven't seen
he worked right up to the end.
I don't know if that performance really stood out, but I mean, he's fine.
No, but he's fine in it. He's cool in it. I mean, I'm not saying it's his greatest performance ever, but fuck you, Sean. Fuck you, buddy.
Fuck who? Fuck you.
Fuck you, buddy.
Fuck who? Fuck
you. He's in that. He's also in that
Kingdom
Joe
of the
Wright
Crystal
movie.
Skull.
He's in that Joe Wright movie that they're making now about Winston Churchill. He plays Neville Chamberlain. That'll be pretty good.
He's in it now.
He's not in it now.
Would they string him up
now.
Like a marionette?
Man, that is fucked up.
Oh, you know what he was good in recently?
I take that over as CG.
He was good in Melancholia recently. I liked him a lot in that.
Is that the this one where
The
Kirsten
Lars von
Dunst
Trier.
shows her boobs? Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
I mean, I'm
What
not
she
gonna.
does?
I'm not gonna
I'm
say I
Googling
fast
that one
forwarded.
right now.
I'm not gonna say I fast forwarded through the movie just to watch that part, because I'm sure it was a great film, but that did happen.
Loved him in King Ralph.
Anyways, a sad
No, I
loss,
mean-
of course, but he was 77 years old and left a tremendous legacy. So I choose to honor his
Well,
work.
a lot of people are kind of re-examining 1984 now. Apparently, that's one of the best-selling
Jesus.
New York Times best-selling books nowadays because people are rereading it. And if you guys want to see the movie 1984, he actually was a hell of a Winston Smith. So you guys should check it out. That's a pretty cool little movie.
I prefer to read the book.
He's also very funny as Jesus in History of the World Part 1. Did you guys ever see History of the World Part
He
1?
is the funniest Jesus ever.
He's pretty good.
You're
When
hilarious.
Mel Brooks is the waiter at the Last Supper and he drops his plate. Ah, Jesus Christ! Yes. What? Nothing. What? Nothing. I'm not even talking to you. Ah, Jesus. Yes. What? What do you keep talking about? I'm not talking to you.
That was messed up. Okay, so moving on. We've got a couple child actors joining some big budget projects, which I think is pretty interesting. First up is Millie Bobby Brown of Stranger Things, also known as 11 from Strange Things, has joined the cast of Godzilla 2, which is now being directed by Trick or Treat's Michael Dougherty, which I find all of those things rather interesting. I'm glad that Gareth Edwards isn't doing another Godzilla because his last two big budget movies, including the first Godzilla.
You never want to see him work again, do you?
No, I'm fine with that. He needs to. I don't know what the fuck he needs to do. Nothing against you,
Yeah,
Gareth.
you
I know you're
never-
listening. I know you're gonna send me hate mail. He's probably the guy that's posting all that shit on the site.
I'll bet he is.
It's
Gareth
Gareth Edwards.
And Lucasfilm is covering his tracks.
I'll
That's
bet.
funny. That sounds like some of those comments now make sense. Gareth Edwards would say that you drink animal spunk.
you drink animal spunk? Oh man.
I mean,
Yeah.
according to the comments section, I do. So it must be true.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's yeah.
But, you're up against a class act when that's where their jokes immediately go to semen consumption. So that's when you're dealing with somebody that's serious.
Yep.
And there it is. Anyways, I think that's interesting. I thought she was really good in Stranger Things.
Well, I mean, we've never really had her talk though in anything yet, so that'll be
Well,
interesting.
She talks in Stranger Things, but she's already
like the
got
3
more.
words.
She's already got more charisma than Aaron Taylor Johnson just in her casting alone.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. But then Aaron Taylor Johnson was amazing in Nocturnal Animals. I think it all comes down to directors.
Hey,
so hopefully
what
this
movie
guy
he
will be a
was
good
not
director.
amazing in? Godzilla.
He was not amazing in Godzilla. I'll give you that.
So there, take that. We also have Jacob Tremblay of Room joining Shane Black's The Predator.
It's French. It's Tremblay.
Shut the fuck up, you French son of a bitch.
I actually thought this was a joke headline when I saw it on JoBlo. I was gonna write you and say, so I don't know who the fuck is working today, but this
That
is
was me.
bullshit.
That was me.
This is
Obviously.
a bullshit fucking story.
But
And then
actually, it
turned out
makes
to be true.
perfect. It makes perfect sense. This is a Shane Black movie. Shane Black is very well known for casting, young kids to be, these kind of, smart mouthed, wise cracking fucking kids. Like he did Iron Man 3.
Oh,
He
but
did it
you haven't explained what kind of kid he's playing in this movie though.
Obviously, he's a Predator kid.
He's fucking autistic in it. It's gonna be, I don't know, it sounds terrible.
I hear this is a prequel to The Accountant.
I don't think so. If you look at
cool.
Black's resume, it's well in line with his sensibilities. You look at just about every other movie he's done, from fucking Nice Guys, which I just watched this weekend on HBO, which everybody should watch.
Yes, I agree. In my
Monster
top 10.
Squad, fucking Iron
I haven't
Man
watched
3.
that in a while.
That's his thing. He likes to have like a smart ass kid, and it tends to work. Like they tend to be cool character. Like they're not the obnoxious, annoying fucking kid that you're like, Jesus Christ, this is terrible. So I don't know. It sounds about right. Is it gonna work? I don't know, but I trust in Shane Black. I'm a big fan of his work.
You know who the best kid sidekick of all time is? Short Round.
I don't disagree. I love short
You
rounds.
call him Dr. Jones, doll.
Hey, lady.
No time for love. No time for love, Dr. Jones.
He is highly quotable. It's a shame we didn't see more short round.
I'd actually really love to see Short Round come back. He should have been in it instead of.
I think that would be cool if we said like a
LaBeouf.
grown-up short round show up, save Indy's ass in the next movie, and be like, "Holy shit, that's short round all grown up."
You know, it'd be cool as Short Round. Donnie Yen.
He's probably a little too old. I don't know if you want to go that old. Short round. You need like somebody a little younger, I think. Anyways, it's not going to happen. Maybe it will. So, so there it is. You have some kids that are going to be in some movies. Enjoyable. Also, in the news, director Bryan Singer of X-Men fame is returning back to X-Men fame to direct the new fucking X-Men TV series. Oh fuck! Did I fall asleep?
Brian, is he ever gonna make something interesting again?
Here's the thing: I don't have anything against Bryan Singer.
I don't either. Just
met
do
Bryan
the fucking
Singer,
Queen.
talked to Bryan
Do
Singer,
the.
But I think he's every project that's been really great from him is not related to X-Men. So
Yeah, just do the Queen movie already. That's what I want to see.
That's on the Bohemian Rhapsody, and then there's also the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I'm not as excited for, but I would much rather see that than
Me too.
more X-Men from Singer. I think more than anything, we need new blood on the X-Men franchise. And I still think the best one was Matthew Vaughn's with First Class. Had the most energy, the most fun. That's
First
like
Class
the kind
was
of
definitely First Class.
I agree. And I think that's what we need. We need somebody that's got style, somebody that is really going to knock it out of the park with the X-Men universe.
A really strong take, yeah. Although, you know what I've heard knocks it out of the park, though, in the X-Men universe? I hear that Legion apparently is amazing.
Yeah. One of our writers, he saw it at New York Comic Con, and he really thought it was great. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. I think it looks awesome
It's this week, isn't it? Yeah, this week. By the time we air, it should have already been on, right?
I'm not positive.
Or is it the week after?
I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know.
So not to interrupt you fellas, but there has been some news that just hit the Hollywood Reporter you might be interested in.
Oh.
I'll read it
Don
to
Johnson?
you.
Oh,
Don
shit.
Johnson?
I see it, too. Oh,
right.
my God. That's going to break.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh! I saw this coming.
Oh, my
I saw it coming.
Thank you.
I saw it coming.
All right, so if
weeks
our
ago.
listeners know what we're reacting to, Ben Affleck is no longer directing the solo Batman movie.
Oh, I knew it. I saw it coming.
But everybody calm down. He is still expected to star as the Caped Crusader.
I don't know. Will he? I don't know
He's not
now,
hanging
though.
up the cowl. He's just stepping away from the director's chair. And you know what? After the failure of Live by Night, which may or may not have been decent, Chris says it was decent. I think it's probably the best decision. And I'll bet you he's burnt the fuck out after rushing to do Live by Night. And it's probably a hell of a lot easier to let somebody else do it. So I think it's actually probably as the smartest fucking decision they can make.
I think I think you're probably right, but I have a feeling he's not going to play Batman anymore. I have a feeling he's going to step down.
I don't think so.
I think he's fucking fed up. that's the interpretation I have of this news, is that he's just fucking fed up, and that they're going to keep developing it.
What else does he have?
And that he's going to make a graceful exit. I just think he wants out. I think he wants to do something totally different. I think he's fed up with the way that his career is going now with Batman. I think it took him to a place he really didn't want to go.
But I don't think so. But
really
you got to read his whole quote, though. Because
I know, I read the quote. Yeah,
he's very adamant about still playing the role. And
what's he gonna do? Though? Is he gonna say, "Oh no, I'm gonna keep doing it"? It's gonna be he's kind of has to say that.
Why?
I don't know. I really
Why wouldn't you just say everything? Like, hey, I'm stepping away from the role. And
well, here, let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and read the quote for the listeners.
Yeah, read it. Since Chris didn't fucking read it.
Affleck said, "There are certain characters who hold a special place in the hearts of millions. Performing this role demands focus, passion, and the very best performance I can give. It has become clear that I cannot do both jobs to the level they require. Together with the studio, I have decided to find a partner and a director who will collaborate with me on this massive film. I am still in this, and we are still making it, but we are currently looking for a director. I remain extremely committed to this project and look forward to bringing this to life for fans around the world."
You know, it's funny, that line at the top where you say, performing this role demands focus, passion, and the very best performance I can give. It becomes clear that I cannot do both jobs to the level they require. I wonder if that's somehow a reaction to Live by Night, because Live by Night, most of the criticism that it's received is that he gives kind of a listless performance in the lead, which he does to a certain extent, although I don't think it's as bad as the critics have said. Do you think that's...
Dude, directing and starring in a film is beyond demanding.
Yeah,
it is,
sure.
And here's my own personal take. I have one of my first college films that I made. Actually, it was just after I got out of college. I made a film.
You are kind of like Ben Affleck.
Can we find your film on Pornhub, Paul?
Yeah.
No. But actually, I was directing and starring in it, and I was trying to make a small effort because
where you played William Wallace.
Like no budget. I had like no budget, and we shot it on the weekends with a group of friends and everything, and. Dude, it was beyond taxing. I was doing every fucking thing. And granted, this is just some fucking dude with no fucking money and a camera and some friends making a film. And it was exhausting as fuck. So I can only imagine, like, on the scale of, like, a big budget film, especially a Batman film, how think about what hinges on that. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like Live by Night. And plus, Live by Night lost $75 million fucking dollars. Why would he want to put himself in that position to take that whole heat round again?
Exactly. Yeah. In a previous podcast, Chris broke it down pretty well, how basically he didn't have time to do Live by Night the way he wanted, possibly. So he didn't want to repeat that and deliver like what he considers to be subpar work compared to his other films. So
exactly.
I really feel like he's gonna step down from playing Batman, though.
You fuck. Shut your
It's just a real feeling I have. It doesn't mean that they'll scrap the movie, because let's not forget. Edward Norton stopped playing the Incredible Hulk, and they kept that going. They could very easily recast the part. I don't know. I feel like Affleck might be done. I think he might be tapped out.
No, I don't think so.
I think he might want to try something completely different.
Should we make a bet? First ever bet.
Look, I'm not gonna bet, but I think though, I don't know, from my interpretation of Affleck as a director, I think he's a very conscientious director, and I would bet that Live by Night, being the disaster that it is, has deeply wounded him. And I would expect him, if he was to step down as Batman, to try and immediately try to regain the clout that he had with Argo. Because with Argo and The Town, I think he really enjoyed having that kind of, that kind of cachet as a director. I think he liked that more than being a movie star. I think that for him, I think taking Batman was probably a huge mistake in hindsight for him. Not a mistake financially, because it made him a shitload of money, I'm sure, but I think artistically, I would bet that he regrets ever taking the part.
I don't think so. It's a lot of responsibility, though. I think
it is. It's not easy. It's not easy.
But here's the thing, that when they sit down and sign these kind of deals, and they talk about this, is why like Joaquin Phoenix pulled out of Doctor Strange, because they were very clear, like, hey, listen, we're not fucking around here. You're going to be in multiple movies. Like, he's already in Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. Like, you're going to be in multiple movies. It's going to take a lot of time. You're looking at the next 5 to 7 years of playing the part. We need your commitment. And it may even be in his contract that he can't step out. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of it, because if I were a studio head, and I'd be like, all right, listen, if we're committing to Affleck, we need his commitment for at least X amount of films. It's the same thing for like Chris Evans and them with Captain America and all that other. They're like, I'm signed for 7 films. There's no backing out. So I'd be curious to know what his deal is before I even speculated on whether he would step down, because he may not even have a choice. And we may know that by the time you're listening to this. So I guess we'll see. I don't think he'll step down, though. I think at this point he's got a fan base established. And to step down now, I think would probably hinder him and hurt him more than he thinks. So I would be shocked.
Yeah, at the very least, I think he would ride out the rest of his contract, which if I had to guess, would be at least 2 more. Like, because they were originally planning like a Justice League Part 2, so I'm sure he signed on for like that and maybe a solo Batman.
Yeah,
after that or something. I don't know.
And it's like, from my understanding, Chris Evans, he's signed through the next 2 Avengers films, and that's it. He's not. They haven't re-signed him as of yet, so who knows what their plans are after that, but he's stressed many times. Like, remember there was that big thing like, oh, Chris Evans is not going to be Captain America anymore, blah, 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 or he's stepping away. But he clarified, no, I'm signed through these films, so I'll be in those films.
Plus, he's kind of like Robert Downey Jr. Chris Evans seems to be having a lot of fun playing Captain America too. So
yeah.
even though this is kind of separate topic, even though their contracts are up, if they want to stay on, I'm sure Marvel would keep them.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I think after the next Avengers, the second Avengers film, the part 2 to Infinity War, I think they'll probably do some restructuring and rethinking and decide who's staying and who's going. I think
they'll probably have a sit down with those actors,
and be like, all right, Evans, we're gonna keep you. Downey, you're pushing 60, bro. We're gonna recast Iron Man or something. They'll do something.
They'll get a woman, but still keep the name Iron Man.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Iron Person.
Well, the woman one is Iron Heart now, because that's Marvel's new thing, is recasting every comic book character as well. So
I guess Gwyneth Paltrow's not coming back. Whatever happened to her?
Everyone's sad.
It felt to me that that they're building up Aunt May to be the new love interest.
I guess. New love interest for teenage boys.
Love interest for me.
There it is.
For sure.
All right, so we just got that breaking news. Sean, make sure to put in some.
How could we be expected? How could we be expected to go on the podcast after that, though? I mean, that's shocking.
I'm shocked. I'm just sitting here dumbfounded. I can't believe it.
I mean, John Hurt was tough, but this is really, taking the cake.
I really thought that Ben would have called me first, considering our relationship, how the relationship that we had on the set of Justice League, and the fact that I'm quoted in all of the ads for Live by Night. It's built around my review because I'm the only positive review out there.
And here you are, wanting him to hang up the cowl.
And here I am, just hearing about it on this podcast.
Traitorous piece of shit.
Fuck you, Affleck. I was on your side. Not anymore.
All right, so let's move along here. Chris, just tell us what the fuck you liked at goddamn Sundance. Get it over with. Quickly.
Hey, I'm going to take this part out of the podcast real quick, but I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. So you go ahead and talk.
Oh, fuck off. Go fuck yourself.
No, take your microphone with you while you're shitting. We want to hear it.
Wait, no, let me record some reactions. Yeah. You don't say.
What? Oh. I'm eating a burrito.
I think we're set.
No, are you going to take a shit?
No, I'm just going.
Are you lying to me?
No,
are you lying?
I wouldn't lie to you.
You're taking a shit.
You could be going to take a shit.
If I was taking a shit, I'd be gone a lot longer than Chris's Sundance talk.
All right.
I don't know.
So wait,
I could
do you
talk
want
for a
Chris
while
to talk about
Sundance.
Sundance while you're gone?
Yeah, just go for it. I'll just slip in. You won't even notice. Just go for it.
That means you don't give a fuck. Go ahead, Chris. Tell us about.
Fuck you guys. I'm not even talking about Sundance. I wasn't anywhere. I was faking it. I was faking the reviews. I was just staying at home. I was on vacation.
Faking it.
I was on vacation for 2 weeks. I worked fucking hard, you assholes. I filed 25 reviews, like 1,000 words each. That's a lot. That's a lot of words.
You don't say.
Yep.
I filed more reviews than anybody else covering that film festival.
And they're
for sure.
They're still not even all up.
Yeah.
Oh, they mostly are. I mean, I think I'm pretty much done at this point.
Like 2.
But anyway. I think I'm pretty much done, and I think the audience, I think the readers are pretty much done at this point too. So
well, I mean,
it's over.
I will just say from my perspective, it seems like this year, even though you did a kick-ass job, but you always do.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. But it seems like the selections were just not up to par this year. Am I wrong?
I mean,
there was no 10 out of 10s. There was a couple 9 out of 10s, but there was nothing that was like, oh my god, just blew me away.
Yeah.
There was nothing like that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, look, I think they were low profile selections. I don't think that there was anything that our audience would really get that excited about. But it's happened though before. Sundance has had years like that. Last year was a particularly good year, I think.
Yeah.
And it always kind of happens like that. You have 1 year on, 1 year off, and I think it's also very hard to judge until really next year at this time to look back and say, oh, that actually was a great year.
You don't
It really depends on how the movies connect. I mean, there are 2 of them that I saw that I think could. Are you fucking gone, Sean? Is that him like fucking stepping away? Sean, are you there?
He's in his kitchen, like closing cabinets and shit.
You don't say.
He's not even there though. Sean's gone. He really did go to take a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was. It's just you and me, bro.
Oh, fucking!
I think he's fighting.
Shithead.
He's fighting a gorilla in the kitchen right now.
Oh,
But look, anyway,
I hope he wins.
I get tacos anywhere.
about Sundance, look, there are two movies that I think will probably end up being pretty big out of this. There's Mudbound, which got bought by Netflix for $12.5 million, and I'm pretty sure that Mudbound is going to be Netflix's first Oscar contender. And it's weird because, last year, Birth of a Nation selling for all that amount of money, you can really feel the effect of that on Sundance this year. I think that if Mudbound had come along a year ago, it would have sold for $20 million to a studio like that. And I think that this year they took the Netflix money because they wanted to make as much back as they could, and they see how awry a campaign can go. But
that makes sense.
Fuck off. But I really do think that Mudbound could potentially be Netflix's first big Oscar contender, and definitely Call Me by Your Name is definitely the best movie I saw at Sundance. Will that movie connect in a big way? Ooh, I really don't know. It's not the easiest sell. But I thought it was fantastic. I really liked Wind River. I don't think Wind River is necessarily an awards contender, but I think as far as suspense thrillers go, I think it'll go over really well, especially with our audience. I really liked The Big Sick as well. Amazon picked that one up, and that could, potentially make a bit of noise. I don't think that it's also, though, an Oscar contender. I mean, it's the one I really liked, actually, and it comes out on Netflix in a month, and it won the Grand Jury Prize, is Mason Blair's I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore with Elijah Wood and Melanie Linsky. And, he actually came up to me at the Sundance party, to thank me for our review, which was very nice, I thought. That happens very rarely. I don't know. It's, like you said, Paul, I mean, I think it was a low-key year. I wouldn't say it was a bad year. It was just a very low-key year, but I think that there was a lot going on in the news, and I think a lot of Sundance's thunder seemed muted this year in compared to previous years. And I'm pretty sure that, in a year's time, next year's selections will be better. And I think that they probably, as much as we think that it was low-key, I would imagine that the staff at Sundance or the programmers at Sundance feel the same way, and they like making a lot of noise. So whenever they have kind of a mediocre year, like I would say that they probably had this year, you could assume that next year it'll be bigger. The one area, though, that Sundance really needs to get their shit together, though, is the midnight selections. The midnight selections have been very bad there for the last couple of years. And it's funny because TIFF really nails the midnight selections. They've always got a good mixture of genre stuff and of high-profile stuff. And even the genre stuff is high-profile enough that it's interesting to people that aren't necessarily just genre fans. But I find that Sundance, their midnight movies fucking suck for the most part. And the only one that they had that was really worth any ink this year, that was even really worth covering, was Get Out, the Jordan Peele movie, which wasn't even part of their lineup originally. They just added it at the last minute as a surprise midnight screening. And that was great, but it wasn't even really part of the programming. It only showed the one time. Thank God I got a ticket. I think that's the one area that Sundance really needs to address.
And for anyone listening, you should go check out the video review, because Chris recorded the narration for it outside in the snow.
Yes,
isn't that right?
Because I had seven roommates sleeping, and I tried to do it in the condo, but when I listened to it back, I was whispering into the mic because I was so afraid of waking anybody up. And it was like this. It was like
Jordan Peele's really good at it.
Yeah,
It's got a
it was like this.
Daddy's home.
It's like this is Chris Bumbray.
It's gonna be a new feature on JoBlo.com. We're gonna start doing whisper reviews.
It would have been a little too frightening, I think, for people. The cat
really good. It's got calories. It shoots people. It's so great.
So I went out and did it in the cold, but I think you could hear me going, Chris Bumbray from Sundance. No, I mean, I think you're right, Paul. I think it was a low-key year for Sundance, but a good year. I saw enough good movies there that I have to say that I was pleased, and I think that as the year goes on and more of these movies start coming out, people will maybe hopefully read the reviews and be more kind of into the coverage. I mean, the one that I was very disappointed with was the Quentin Tarantino Q&A, because there just was like 1,000 people there, so there were no time to get any questions in. But it was fun seeing that movie on the big screen again. And it was 35 millimeter as per Tarantino's request, which was also kind of cool. It was a low-key year, but a good year. I saw enough good movies that I'm happy with how it went. It wasn't like TIFF this year. TIFF this year was fucking nuts.
TIFF is always like amazing, though.
Yeah, it's always pretty big. I mean, there's a lot going on there, and I'd say Sundance is also very consistent that way. But yes, definitely a low key year, and I think everybody knows it. I mean, Berge knew it, in the email that he sent. I mean, I think everybody was tired though. I think there was a lot going on in the world, and I think that people were just kind of had their focus was elsewhere. And Sundance, it occurred at a very strange time, with what's going on, and it was muted this year. Maybe not the best year it ever had. A little low key. But
I have a question.
Let's see how it is next year. But I saw enough good movies; it wasn't a disaster.
Too, Paul, does a review from Sundance, does it get more attention when we release it, like right when Chris sees it at Sundance, or maybe when the movie gets a wide release?
God, I imagine months later, right?
It's a good question. It depends on the film. Like if it's a film that, like, say that's already has studio backing, then traditionally you'll see a bigger push because they'll push it on their end. So you'll see that happen. But if it's a film that doesn't have a distributor yet and they're just kind of waiting to see what happens, once it gets picked up and it gets a distribution deal, be it theatrical or VOD or whatever, that's when I start getting emails from reps wanting to use pull quotes. It always happens that way. And I think you'll start to see an uptick right around that time, depending on the actual film itself too. It's gotta be one that people are actually, somewhat looking forward to. But that's pretty much how it goes down.
I mean, that's why I filed as many reviews as I did, and that's why I always file as many reviews as I did. I know that certain movies, people are not going to read necessarily about them now, but then a couple months later when a trailer gets cut and people start to, get a taste for the movie, then they may go back and look at it. But it's always very hard to predict what does well or not. Like I didn't think anybody would read my walking out review, but then it turned out that was one of the more popular ones that I wrote because the Matt Bomer fans are fucking insane and we're sharing it. And I'm still getting retweets about that. I think the Wind River one did okay. I think that's probably the one that our audience probably knows the most about. But I do have one funny story though, quickly. I wrote a review of The Polka King, the Jack Black movie, which is based on this polka star from Pennsylvania or something who ran this massive Ponzi scheme and bilked elderly people out of $5 million. So I told you guys last week at the world premiere that a friend of mine was sitting by the real Polka King and that he wouldn't shut the fuck up when they were watching the movie, right? So my buddy tweets about him and writes that he was an asshole and that he was talking too much during the movie. And I retweeted my friend basically saying sociopath can't shut the fuck up on movie theater or something. Because to me, the Polka King is a sociopath. He stole $5 million from elderly people. And as much as I like that movie, I'm not really comfortable about the fact that they're kind of making him out to be some kind of like underdog hero type because he's fucking not. His wife or somebody involved with that family, they started like Twitter profiles and they were fucking giving us shit all week.
Really?
So that was surreal. That was kind of surreal. The Polka King's friends or whatever that think he's a wonderful guy who stole $5 million from old people. But yeah, anyway, that was an interesting little aside.
JoBlo's at war with the Polka King,
pissing off people at Sundance. That's great.
I really like that. I really like that movie, though. Well, the filmmakers aren't pissed off with us.
All right, so to wrap it up, we were going to talk about some Oscar picks, but I think that's going to be a broader conversation. We'll save that for next week.
I'm very curious to see though if because the SAG Awards were last night, if Denzel ends up winning the Oscar, because they haven't been wrong about their lead actor picks since 2003.
I guess we'll see. I still have to watch Fences.
But it's all right.
So we'll get it. I think Moonlight already is the most. I saw that recently. I think it's hugely overrated. It's good, but it never gets better than the first act. And I think it's Mahershala Ali definitely deserved his win, but yeah, it's not that great of a film. So it's gonna be like this year's Spotlight if it wins a bunch of shit. Or Hurt Locker, however you want to look at it.
I love Spotlight. You didn't like Spotlight?
No. It's like an HBO movie.
You.
Come on.
Yeah, I agree. Like it wasn't bad, but like movie. It didn't really bring anything.
It was like it's like an episode of The Wire. Come on. Did it have good performances? Yes. Was it an intriguing story? Sure. Is it some great fucking Oscar-winning best movie of the year? No. Sorry.
No, it's like these things are happening. We're going to report them. That's the movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
It's highly, highly overrated, and I think if Moonlight wins, that'll be another case this year, and another reason why I think the Oscars are complete bullshit.
I don't think Moonlight's gonna win though. I think that La La Land's gonna win.
Probably. But anyways, we'll discuss that more on the next episode and get deeper into that. Chris, I know you wanted to say something about XXX. If you want to make it quick, you want to say that you...
Okay. I just want to read you guys the notes that I took.
I just want to read you guys.
I just want to read you guys the notes that I took to myself while I was watching XXX 2 because I went to see it this afternoon. And okay, so at the beginning of the movie, he's recruiting a XXX team, and one of the people that he recruits is a DJ.
Of course, you gotta have
his special skill. His special skill is that he's a DJ, and I swear to God, at one point in the movie, he saves the day by starting a rave. Breaking out hot beats. Okay.
Yeah.
There's another scene in the movie where Vin Diesel literally takes a fucking machine gun out and breaks it over his knee like it's a piece of wood.
I did that plenty of times.
Wait, why did he do that? Was he upset with it or?
No, he's trying to sell guns to somebody, and the guy's like, "I want 18.5%." He goes, "Fine," and he breaks a gun in half, and he hands the guy half of a gun.
I get it.
There's another part. Okay, the movie is all cast with mostly international actors. Like, it's a very internationally aimed movie. The dialogue in the film is so simple though that it feels like it was written by somebody whose English is not their first language. So that's interesting. I think it's a movie that would probably play better if it was dubbed into a foreign language and subtitled. Another one. Anyways. Another thing that I wrote is Vin Diesel nipple tattoo, which I don't remember from the first movie, but he's got a nipple tattoo in this one. It's a flower around his nipple, and it looks awful. Then there's another thing that I have written: Vin Diesel straight ? And it's because in this movie, literally every woman that sees him throws themselves at him. And he has an orgy at one point with like 5 women, which you don't see. But there's something about Vin Diesel. Him kissing a woman on screen has got to be the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen. Like, have you guys ever seen that viral video of him kissing Asia Argento from XXX?
Yeah, it's kind of true.
He really is not a good kisser on screen, and he does way too much of it in XXX, The Return of Xander Cage, and it's very strange.
Do you think he's trying to prove something?
Oh, yeah, 100% he is. And then
I'm not gay.
The one thing I kind of liked about it, though, is that it does have a sense of humor that distinguishes it a little bit from the Fast and Furious movies. And he's a non-drinker in the film, so he goes to a club at one point and he orders a cranberry club soda, which it's the only time you ever see an action star do that. But yeah, no, you know what? It was really stupid, but kind of fun.
Yeah, I almost went to see it, and I gave my son the option because we had time to see.
You could wait for digital. For that one. It's fun though.
Between that or Split, and he chose Split, which we saw last week, and
I still haven't seen that.
He wanted me to go see. He wanted to go see Split again this week. I was like, "Well, do you want to go see a movie?" And I was looking what was out, and I was like,
"Fuck. A Dog's Purpose."
Yeah, you didn't really want to see that. I don't.
I'd say watch XXX. XXX 2. I mean, XXX Return of Xander Cage, whatever it's called. You can definitely watch it on digital, but it's a fun, stupid movie. I mean, I think Eric's review is pretty accurate for that one.
Yeah, I mean, at least it lives up to that, because that's what I would expect from it. I wouldn't expect anything more. As long as it lives up to that, then I would be like, okay. And it is directed by DJ Caruso, who's done actually some pretty decent work. He did a movie called The Salton Sea, which I did a Best Movie You Never Saw.
Oh, I love The Salton Sea. It's not
such a great.
It's nowhere near as good as The Salton Sea. This is the DJ Caruso of Eagle Eye.
yeah, exactly. It's like
he did a fair job.
Sure.
And there is one movie, though, I wanted to mention really fast that you guys are going to see pop up on digital this week, and that you should both really check out. No. It's called War on Everyone. It's directed by John Michael McDonough. It's with Michael Pena and Alexander Skarsgård.
In America, we say Pena.
Pena. Anyway, they're these two super corrupt cops, right, in Albuquerque that are trying to trying to get rich, and it's like a weird spoof of Lethal Weapon, or like The Nice Guys if they were fucking assholes. And it's kind of amazing.
The Fucking Assholes would have been a better title.
Yeah, and it's kind of amazing. I loved it. I watched it on the plane yesterday. I bought the Wi-Fi to watch it streaming, and because I got the screener link for it, and it was kind of amazing. And you guys should definitely check it out. It's getting a weird release, though. It's a movie that definitely could have probably gone theatrical. And Tessa Thompson plays Alexander Skarsgård's love interest in it. And she's very, 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 very cute in it, especially because she plays a drum majorette. And she has a little dance number that's kind of sexy. You should definitely check it out, though. War on Everyone. It's a really fun movie. My review should be up
Is
this
it on?
week,
Is it on VOD this week?
It will be starting Friday.
Theatrical.
Starting Friday.
It's theatrical.
It's going.
This week too,
It's going. It's going VOD and theatrical.
Okay.
Mostly, I think theatrical though, like 3 screens or something like that. It's mostly VOD that people are going to see it. So definitely watch it that way.
All right, there you have
But
it.
a fun little R-rated kind of comedy actioner, and if you guys like The Guard, you'll like this one. It's very much in the same vein as The Guard.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Sean, you want to take
Fuck
us
you.
into viewer questions? That sounds
You
like
know what? I try to bring you guys
is that one of
culture.
those? Is that one of those
I don't even
Sundance?
know what this movie is. Yeah,
The Bodyguard,
Is
Kevin
that one of those
Costner. Yeah, we know
Sundance
that one.
movies.
I love Kevin Costner. Whitney Houston, great in that movie.
But you know what's funny is I saw The Bodyguard when it came out in theaters, and I actually enjoyed it at the time.
I still like The Bodyguard. I watched it again not long ago.
I really enjoyed it. I remember I told my cousin, who was a little older than me, because I was in high school when I saw it, and I told my cousin, he was like in his early 20s, he's like, yeah, man, Bodyguard was really good. And he's like, all right, man, I'll take your word for it. And he went and saw it, and they just hated it, because they're like older and disgruntled. They're just like, that's so fuck. And he was like, dude, my buddy said he was going to fucking kill you for telling us to go see that fucking movie. And I was like, dude, it was an enjoyable movie. Like, what the fuck? Anyways.
And
I
written
actually-
by the Han Solo prequels, Lawrence Kasdan.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I actually still like The Bodyguard. I think it's a good movie.
I haven't seen it in a while, and whenever I think of Whitney Houston now, I always think of the reality show she did with Bobby Brown. God damn, making my ears bleed, Bumbray. Brundle Bumbray. Did you like the images that I made for you on the last podcast, Chris?
I haven't watched it yet. I was at Sundance. I'm gonna definitely watch that.
Oh, he hasn't heard the end of it.
Now I'm very concerned. Hold on, I'm gonna check it out right now because I'm very concerned by this.
I made Brundle Bumbray just for you. Sean, while he's looking that up, do you want to take us into questions? Do we even have any?
Yeah, no, we actually have some fun comments.
Does anybody give a fuck?
Yeah. So first off, we got Cooley Alexander who says, "Yo."
Oh, that's finally we got something that's worthwhile. Yo,
Thank you for your efforts.
All right, so moving into the real stuff, Classy Ulysses says, "Hey guys, my question is that do you think rumors ruined the movie experience when you're watching a movie?
Rumors is in the Fleetwood Mac album. If you put it on in the background,
it would ruin my experience. Saw this website that someone heard that Justice League and Wonder Woman is a mess, and therefore ruining the experience. So just to kind of rephrase that a little bit, do rumors or hype ever ruin a movie experience for you guys?
Well, first off, you won't find that report on JoBlo.com because that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. But the thing is, I don't see how it's going to ruin a movie unless you put value into it, and you create expectations for yourself. It goes back to like kind of what's going on in the news today is that people place value into things that aren't even accurate. And it's kind of funny how mainstream media is becoming like movie news now, where everything is from a source now, and a trusted source. And I'm guilty of that. That was part of my job, is because I can't reveal my sources. But now, where you used to get like reliable information, you don't get anymore. Now you get from a source. And then people automatically, they get this knee-jerk response like, oh my God, it's got to be true. It's true. Like, this is terrible. This is horrible. Like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, look at the source. Where is it coming from? Who's saying it? Why are they saying it? You know what I'm saying? There's a huge...
you fucking whores.
Hey, that's no way to talk to Classy. Come on.
I just listened to the end of the podcast.
That's funny. But yeah, so you can't.
I am the glue holding the podcast together.
Truly.
Fuck you guys.
And to kind of riff off what you're saying, like, frankly, I don't think rumors or hype has ever ruined a movie for me, because a movie's either good or it's bad, and you either have expectations for it or if you don't. Some movies I've had expectations for and they followed through, some don't, but that doesn't change the outcome of the movie if I am looking forward to it or not.
And, rumors and hype are often bullshit. I mean, it's funny. Everybody was saying before Fury Road, before it started screening for critics, that it was a disaster, right? Everybody's like, the sets, it's so over budget, and the studio's fighting with George Miller over the ratings, and Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy hate each other, blah, 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 blah. Then the movie comes out, and it's amazing, and it gets nominated for Best Picture, and it's considered one of the greatest action movies ever. Avatar, everybody thought that it was going to destroy a studio, and it ended up being the highest-grossing movie ever made. Titanic, everybody thought was going to be a disaster, and it ended up being one of the biggest hits ever.
Well,
you know, I mean, rumors are
we talking about the
just
real
that,
Titanic?
Rumors. No, the movie Titanic.
They had big expectations for that, and it didn't work out so well.
It was based on a true story. No.
I thought James Cameron created that.
Leo DiCaprio is really dead.
Anyways, I don't think you should place value into.
No,
these
I don't
rumors.
think so
As
either.
Sean said, the movie's going to speak for itself when you actually see it. Now, sometimes there are reports that actually become true and raise questions. And I will use Rogue One as an example here, in that they did come out and they did report that yes, there were a shitload of fucking reshoots and rewrites, and then it just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and that adds validity when you actually see the film and you're like, oh shit, they really did have some issues here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, but everything else, ultimately it comes down to your opinion. You may walk out of Rogue One and be like, I fucking love that. It's the best Star Wars movie I ever saw. More power to you. I walked out and thought it was, horrible. But ultimately, everything rests in you. It's your opinion. That's all that matters. You take all these rumors and shit into the movie with you. I think that's ultimately it's your own problem. But there's no space to place validity in that shit.
Exactly. So moving on, we got a question from Kevin Muller, who asks, is there a movie that you feel is better than the source material?
Jaws.
That's one of three examples I whip out every time. Jaws, the movie, is way better than the book.
Godfather.
I haven't read The Godfather, but I'll take it.
I think Fight Club totally it captures the
agree.
material perfectly.
That's my second.
Elevates it.
Yeah,
elevates
Fight
it
Club.
in style and execution in so many ways.
Blade Runner.
I haven't read Blade Runner.
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
Jurassic Park, for me, the movie is better than the book.
No, I would go opposite.
Yeah, especially the ending.
Are you crazy?
I thought the ending was garbage with the raptors facing off and stuff like that.
No way. I thought the
silly.
ending of I love the book of Jurassic Park way better. We're at a standoff. Here's the thing. I love Jurassic Park, but the book itself I've read multiple times. There's so many scenes that they didn't put in that movie. And I remember that was one of the first experiences I had where I had read the book and I was like super hyped for the movie. And this was before there was even internet. Take that. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to see these scenes. And then I'm watching the movie unfold and I was like, what happened? And they changed it. It was still completely entertaining, but in no way did it accurately 100% capture the book, or even 90 or 80% capture.
Not that it needs to. A movie doesn't need to be the book. I read the book 5 years ago, and I was just like, because there's a lot of buildup. Are these dinosaurs really here? Are there dinosaurs at the island and stuff? When you read in the book, and it's like, we know there's fucking dinosaurs. Like, get to it, And then the book doesn't have John Williams' score. It doesn't have Jeff Goldblum. Even though you picture that.
I guarantee you would feel totally different if you had read Jurassic Park prior to watching the movie. But you saw the movie, and you've already built up that nostalgia factor of how great it is and the scenes that you're attached to.
Actually,
I read the book before,
I love Jurassic Park, but it's not my favorite Spielberg movie, not by a long shot. I wouldn't even give it a 10 out of 10 score. But
no, it's not.
I didn't think the book was as good. Although, since you mentioned if I had read the book first, I recently read The Martian first. I remember you were reading it. And then I decided to read it before the movie, and I saw the movie, and I was like, that was pretty good. But the book, really, really, I love the book. It's great.
I enjoyed both. I think that was a pretty neck and neck translation, personally. But enjoy. I think that was a good question. I like that question.
You know what? The movie Get Shorty, I think, was a little bit better than the book. I like Elmore Leonard, but I found that I enjoyed Get Shorty as a film more than I liked it as a book.
More often than not, I'm disappointed with the film version. I would say.
I think that's pretty common.
90% of the time, I'm disappointed. It's very.
Drive!
rare.
Drive is way better as a movie than it was as a book. The book is pretty, it's pretty lame. The movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty rare.
Yeah. As you said, most of the time the book is better, but it's always great to have those examples because occasionally you do run into that film version that does transcend because it's a different medium. So I think those particular filmmakers knew how to translate that. People complain all the time that, the film wasn't like the book. Well, a film doesn't need to be the book. It needs to be its own thing. It's a different medium completely. And I think when a filmmaker understands that and makes the necessary changes, they can make a movie that's better than the book. But
you still want
it
to
doesn't happen
capture
often.
the essence of what it is, though. And I think in certain respects, depending on how deeply ingrained the book is in society and the fan base, how that will dictate how much it needs to follow. Like for, to me, for Jurassic Park, I think there's room to explore, but there's certain books where it's like, well, like Black Hawk Down, for example, I think is a great translation. It's a neck and neck kind of translation. It works exceptionally well, both as a book and a movie, but it pays respect to the actual events.
Gotcha. There you go. Yeah. All right, and to move on to our last 2 questions from Corey. This one's for Chris. He says, if you could pick any superhero for Don Johnson to play, who would it be?
That's an interesting question.
Chris doesn't even know any superheroes. He don't read comic books.
The thing is, I would say a superhero, but I mean, I think Don Johnson is already the greatest superhero.
Oh God!
Just
so
as
he
himself.
Would play himself.
Either play himself, or I'd like to see him show up in Infinity War. All he has to do is he pulls up in like a Ferrari, and the door opens, and it's like Phil Collins blasting out of the window, and he's wearing sunglasses, and he's Crockett. That would be amazing. He pulls up, and it's like the Avengers are in big fucking trouble because whatever fucking loser hero, bad guy's trying to kill them, whatever. And
that's what it says in the script.
Iron Man's armor isn't working, or whoever. What else gives a fuck? He suddenly drives up in his Ferrari, and he just hears, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
I love Chris's percussion there
with the machine gun, and it's just and saves the day, and everybody's like, "Oh man, thank you."
No. See, what everybody would be doing, they'd be like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Who's like the audience would be doing that.
Chris would be the only guy in the theater standing up like, fuck yeah!
Like, you'd have fucking Tony Stark going, "Who's that cool motherfucker?" Who's that cool guy?
That's the one time they drop an F-bomb in a Marvel movie.
That guy is so cool. And then you'd have Black Widow would be all like, "Oh, he's hot." And then and then Winter Soldier would be all like, "Yeah, he is fucking hot."
Yeah. See, now the sad thing about this is when I inevitably go to see Infinity Wars, it's not going to live up to that scene you built in my mind.
Like, where is it?
He is fucking hot.
The rumor has ruined the movie for you.
It coming in the air tonight.
And the last question, also from Corey, have any of you ever walked out of a movie?
Oh,
yes.
So which ones?
Sergeant Bilko. I walked out.
Oh man, you didn't like Sergeant Bilko?
Fuck no. And then that House on Haunted Hill with Famke Johnson, but that's because some chick wanted to have sex. So I was like, let's go. So I went and had sex instead of watching that movie.
I walked out of the first one that I ever walked out of was The Big Bounce, the Owen Wilson movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Walked out of that one. I thought that was terrible. I walked out of that one and ended up seeing The Butterfly Effect instead, and I actually thought The Butterfly Effect was surprisingly decent at the time. I haven't watched it in years though. I mean, I've walked out of a few. Yeah, I've left early in a couple of movies.
Okay, do you have any examples?
There was actually a Todd's. I'm very hit and miss with Todd Solondz or whatever his name is.
Todd Solondz.
Life During Wartime. I walked out of after 20 minutes. I thought it was terrible, but I liked Happiness.
Did you walk out of The Raid 2? Because it was so intense.
I did not walk out of The Raid 2 because it was so intense.
There was a fellow pussy ass critic of yours that did.
Yes, I know. Oh, and the power went off during Click, the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, he's like, I can't, it's so intense. I can't.
It's too cool. It's too amazing.
Too cool. Did you see the chick with the hammer? Fuck, I'm out of here.
I can't.
It's too badass.
I can't with The Raid.
I walked out of 2 movies this year, but not because I didn't like them. I walked out of Midnight Express because I was really sick.
Midnight Express. How old are you? That movie was 1978. What? How old are you, Sean?
Not Midnight. What am I thinking? Midnight Special. There you go.
Oh yeah, another overrated 2016 movie.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I was sick. I fell asleep and then woke up and like watched 10 minutes, and I'm like, I don't really care. I want to give this movie a fair shot, so I left, and then I walked out of not because it was bad, but Bad Moms because I was really sleepy.
I like that.
I just wanted to go home and go to sleep.
I needed this little nap.
I did. So I saw like 30 minutes, and I'm like, this is decent, and then I left.
There's like a ton of movies I've fallen asleep in. I fell asleep in. I remember I went to see Assassins with Stallone, and Antonio
yeah.
Banderas. I remember it was when I used to work construction. I was like 19, I think. And I was like, I went to the 11 p.m. show after working like a 12-hour day.
Oh, that's not
like,
smart.
I want to see this movie. And I got there, I fell asleep like within 10 minutes, and I woke up when the credits were rolling. It was the first time that's ever happened, and I must have been like fucking snoring because I was out. Like I literally woke up and I was like, what happened? Like, really, what happened to me? What happened?
What happened?
That was crazy.
Oh man, I fell asleep during that Wizard of Oz movie with James Franco. Like I missed the middle of the movie, and then like I feel like I didn't miss anything. Like I saw the beginning and the end, and I was
That
like, all right, I'm
happens.
good.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever fallen asleep during a movie was at Sundance. The first year
Just
I
now?
went.
Every movie.
No,
this year.
the first year I went, I saw this like Greg Kinnear movie called Thin Ice that was a
How
nothing
fucking
film.
dare you?
And after 10 minutes, I was just like, and
Poor Greg Kinnear.
I like Greg Kinnear. He's great in Brigsby Bear, the Kyle Mooney movie.
We're not talking about Sundance anymore. Shut the fuck up.
That movie's going to be a cult hit. Mark Hamill's amazing in it. That movie's going to be great.
Nice.
It is
All
great.
right.
Well, that is it for our questions and comments. For all of our listeners, if you want to comment or ask us any question, please do so. Leave it in the comments. We love to read it.
And more Don Johnson questions.
Even more, Don Johnson. Tell us which Infinity Wars you think Don Johnson should say.
I can feel it coming in the air.
So, yeah, again, you can check us out on JoBlo.com for all your news, reviews, interviews, exclusives.
I've
This
been waiting
podcast
for
is
this
moving.
moment
Chris, this is
all
very
my
important.
life.
Shut your mouth. This podcast is already making the transition over to the new JoBlo Videos YouTube channel. Definitely appreciate it if you guys would, watch it there and subscribe to the channel. That's going to help keep this show alive. If you want it to die, then continue doing what you're doing. It will. If you want us to continue, then please, by all means, share, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, put it out there, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the case may be. And we definitely need your reviews, your comments, things like that. Again, that will help keep the show going. So please do that if you're enjoying the show. If not, well, again, continue doing what you're doing.
If you're not, why did you listen to an hour and a half?
If you're not and you're an hour and a half
Wow.
in, I applaud you. So there it is. But anyways, we do, again, appreciate you guys joining us, listening to us, especially Chris. I apologize for him again. He's not going to change. He is who he is.
Sorry, eh?
Hey. All right. So anyways.
One last thing to send you guys
No.
out on. How
Thank you for your
good would
effort.
this be? How good would this be?
No.
Phil Collins, the movie, starring Jude Law.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your effort.
But fuck you, Sean. Fuck you,
But
buddy.
fuck who? Fuck you.
Fuck you, buddy.
Fuck who? Fuck you. Daddy's home.
Oh, you just shut the fuck up, James Cameron.